I wonder what I could do in this next video to really leave an impact. Hey, namaskar everyone, how are you? Hopefully everybody's been doing fantastic. Listen, if you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by and checking it out. I hope you're gonna stick around. If you're already a subscriber, thank you and welcome back. As always, welcome back means we are on another adventure, and that also means that you're gonna wanna know where we are and what we're doing. Let me start off by saying today is Christmas. This video will not be loaded up today. It'll probably be a couple days from now, so I hope everybody had a very Merry Christmas. That being said, it looks to me like we are in Youngstown, Ohio. But what are we doing in Y-Town today on Christmas morn? Christmas is a celebration of Christ, so I thought it would make sense to go on a search for Jesus. So if you're ready for today's adventure, if you're worthy enough for today's search, I suggest you get off the couch, you get ready, and let's go. We are right here. Right here. That is fantastic. Gotta go. Oh shoot. Look at all of them. I think they're ready to kick my ass. Harden saliva. You're okay. You're okay for watching my channel.
Jesus, God, Mamma Mia, look what we got.
Shh. I said there's people still sleeping. Calm down. We're gonna go. We're gonna go. I told you she was afraid of bridges.
Do not. Stop it now.
That is the starting point of the trail. I guess. I don't know. You can start at the beginning or you can start at the end. I don't think it matters where you start at. But wherever you start, that's your starting point. Oh, shit. That's why I tell you, take a sip. History. Better Malanga. So let's talk about this search for Jesus for a minute. You can't talk about Jesus without talking about the book of Matthew, chapter 25. A lot of impacting things happened in that chapter, and I believe we will be able to talk about or show you all of them on today's search. It all started in 2016 when Father Nick Shorey passed away. When he passed away, it was in his will that a sculpture be put out in front of the Youngstown diocese. And that sculptor would be Timothy Schmalz. Timothy Schmalz is from Canada. He's a Canadian sculptor. He sculpts primarily in bronze, and most of his sculptures are religious. I've seen a couple that weren't, but most of them are religious. All of them are extremely impacting. They make you think. Every single one of them. Every single one of them. So with that one statue, with that one sculpture, it started a project here in Youngstown. There are actually 6 statues of Jesus, 6 sculptures of Jesus, all within a mile of each other. And there are only 3 other cities that have that, and that is Rome, that is Detroit, Cleveland, and now Youngstown, Ohio. So I know if you're from Youngstown, you've seen some of the statues that we're on a search for today. So if you didn't know, you might have not have known that information. Really extremely cool to know, because it's really something special. So that is what our search is today. We are going to look for all 6 statues by Timothy Schmalz, and I'm going to keep them in order as we go. And the first one right here we go, the Diocese of Youngstown, and where I started, that's the museum industry here in downtown Youngstown. Very, very cool museum to go check out inside. Very cool, very cool. But that is my starting point today. We got lovely Youngstown, Ohio behind us. Of course, it's quiet. It is Christmas. Usually there's hammocks hanging up too down there. But let's walk across the street and see if we can find our first Jesus and talk about him. But yeah, it's nice to know how the project got started, if you didn't know. But this right here, that the church, that's the St. Columbu Cathedral back there. There's the bell tower. And it's another homeless person. Hold on. Let's check this out. There is our first Jesus that we've been searching for. Like I said, this was kind of dedicated for Father Nick. This is what he wanted, right out here in front of the Youngstown Diocese right there. And this actually is what Timothy Schmalz is best known for, is this sculpture right here, the homeless Jesus. I'm going to show you the plaque. Let's read it here. Amen, I say to you, whatever you did for one of the least brothers of mine, you did for me. Homeless Jesus. Matthew 25. So I'll pause that. I'm gonna hold the camera on those so you can read it. If you want to pause it, feel free. But here is the first Jesus statue that we're gonna take a look at. Now, I told you, very impacting, right? Very impacting. People see a homeless person, the hooded Jesus. If you look in there, there he is. He's covered up. He's laying on the bench. Now, how do we know this is Jesus? You wouldn't know. You would just think this would be a homeless person, right? You can tell because he has the wounds on his feet right here. So this is the first of our search. Homeless Jesus. Listen to the sounds. All right, that was great. There's that sign again. I have done a video not too long ago when we did a walk downtown, and I did go by this church. This is St. John's Episcopal Church here in Youngstown. I'm glad I caught the bells ringing on that. I know they were busy yesterday for Christmas Eve, but let's take a small walk here and see if we can find our second statue, our second hooded Jesus. And there it is right there, St. John's Episcopal Church, established 1859. So yeah, this isn't a history walk. This is a search for Jesus. And I think I see our second one, When I Was Naked. Now this right here was dedicated to Michael George Lowry Jr. He was a big advocate for the homeless. He was a Catholic drug counselor and actually a victim. So this is dedicated to him and others that fell to the addiction and fell victim to that. So again, I'll do that so you can actually read. Here it is again. Matthew 25:40. Now keep in mind, if you read Matthew 25, when I was naked, homeless Jesus, those are all in that chapter. But here he is, hunched over in helplessness. There he is. Just very, very impacting, right? Very impacting, to say the least. And we talked about it before. You wouldn't know this is Jesus, you know, but we can tell because of the wounds on the hands and on the feet. I'll tell you what, I really admire the work of people who sculpt. It's amazing. And there we go, on the opposite side of his foot, there's another wound. So that's how we know this is Jesus. When I was naked. The Masonic Temple. Love that building. Right there. One of my favorite buildings downtown. But, oh, what's this too? Is this... Oh, look at that. Ah, there we go. May peace prevail on earth. Huh. I like that. I like that. I like that a lot. So, yeah. If you want to check all these out, you can drive to all these and do exactly what I'm doing. Like I said, I'm keeping these in order of the way they were sculpted and laid out. Yeah, really quiet down here today. Really quiet. But yeah, really, really nice to know the meaning behind these sculptures. Our third hooded Jesus right here. When I was hungry and thirsty. And here we go right here. 25:35 Matthew. For I was hungry and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty and you gave me something to drink. And I was going to tell you, but it's right here in loving memory of Sue J. Van Zant. She was a ordained elder at the church, but I'll go up there and take a look at it right there. But there he is. He has his plate. He has the cup. There's the cup, the plate. Hooded, sitting here in his garb, and again you got the wound, and that's how we know that it is indeed Jesus. And oh, I didn't notice this on the other ones right there. Timothy Schmalz. I didn't notice it on the other ones. Yeah, Timothy Schmalz. But yeah, and I think actually people do leave like coins and money in there, like, so if somebody needed it, they could take it. I don't think that was the purpose for it, but I think people do that as well. But I noticed too, right behind here, up there on the church, Jesus touched them, saying, "Arise and have no fear." Clock tower. But yep, that was our third hooded Jesus on today's search. So we all know what happened in 2020, right? The pandemic. Which takes us to our fourth hooded Jesus. And it also takes us to Mercy Health here in downtown Youngstown, the main hospital. There used to be a building right over there, and a bridge connecting. I actually stopped and watched them tear it down, but you know, the iconic blue cross up on the building there. But yeah, 2020 pandemic. This one that we're going to go look up a little closer, this was dedicated to all of the people who lost their lives to that pandemic. I'll show you the signs right there. So yeah, I just say pandemic because I don't think we're allowed to say that still on YouTube. But there's that, there's this. Now I'm not sure, before we take a look at that, I am not sure. I thought this was supposed to have, maybe it's not completely done yet, I don't know. I thought there were supposed to be 3 plaques here. I think one was supposed to be like a historic sign on it or whatever. And I think there was also to be, and maybe it is, maybe if you know, comment it. I think there's supposed to be, oh my goodness, for 2120, I'm trying to think of the word I'm looking for. A time capsule. trying to think what the heck I was trying to get out. But I think there was supposed to be a time capsule here for 2120, 100 years after the health organization declared the world pandemic. So, and I want to say that's true. I don't know. Maybe the time capsule's in here somewhere. Maybe it's in there. I don't know. That's what I read. That's what I heard. But let's take a little closer look. Sickness of the pandemic, and you can tell the bronze on it. Again, there he is right there on this one, Timothy Schmalz. But wound. Wound on his hand. Another wound on his hand. So this one, I think this one holds a real impact on a lot of people, because everyone that I know anyway has been affected by the pandemic. And I don't want no comments of, oh, it's not real or whatever. That's not what this is about. It's about a statue, and that's what it was dedicated to. So if you believe it, you believe it. If not, you know, whatever. Everybody has their own opinion. It's great. That's great. But this is what it was dedicated for, and that was the 4th Jesus statue, hooded Jesus, here in Youngstown on our search. The YMCA. Look at that right there. Got Eastern Gateway down there. I like that ladder going up there. But yeah, the YMCA. Hey, let's walk down to the next level. YMCA. I've been in that one. It's pretty. It used to be old school. Then they did some remodeling. I think back in the day, that used to have apartments upstairs to help people to stay. They would feed you, etc. So a very welcoming place. The YMCA is. But let's walk across. Let's see if we can find anything on our search. I think we might be able to. Yeah, here's a bench right here, and I kind of want to point it out. A lot of cities do that. Oh, I was wondering what that was. You know, we seen the homeless Jesus, and he was laying on the bench. There wasn't one of those middle pieces. A lot of the cities do that. They'll put barbs, or they'll put just things to lean across because they don't want the homeless people sleeping on the benches and what. So kind of ironic. See some pinwheels on the on there. But yeah, the YMCA, like I said, a very welcoming place. It's for everybody to come to. You always feel welcome. I've been in here a couple times. It's pretty big when you go inside. You can have parties here. You can rent things out and whatnot. I don't think they're open today, but yeah. What was that? Oh, you found it. That is probably one of my favorite. Actually, I don't know. This is either my first or my second favorite of the 6 of our search today. This one is, I find this one cool. This is awesome because you got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 benches. You got the other hooded Jesus here, and let's see, it looks like he has a sack on there. Wound, and another wound right there. And look at the face. The hooded Jesus. And this one, I was a stranger and you welcomed me. It's probably sounds like something from Matthew. Matter of fact, Matthew 25:35. I was a stranger and you welcomed me. Now let's look and see. The last time I didn't notice, he must put his name in different spots. Unless it's on. Don't know. This one looks to be hidden. Yeah, I only noticed Timothy's name on the last one we seen. But let me go back so you can see everything. I was a stranger right there. Like I said, it's the next one that I go to. It may be my favorite, but this one here, it definitely is up there. It's either my favorite or second favorite. Courthouse. And for our last Jesus search, it's going to take us to the Trinity United Methodist Church. This will be the last one, and I think this might be my favorite. I I don't think I've ever been in that building, but this one up here is probably my favorite. It's either this one or When I Was a Stranger. But take a look at this building a little bit. There's Trinity office building. It's one of my favorite churches down here too. Little chapel of Friendly Bells. Got the 1941 up there. We might as well stop right there and look at that since we're on our way. But listen, say, my house shall be called a house of prayer for all people. Very nice. Very nice. I like that. But I just noticed that too on there. There's an elephant. There's I don't know what they're called, those more bells that go on like the horses and the cows or whatever that pull. I like that they have the elephant right there though. That was nice. There's our second church we've been to with church bells. Now, here is our last one. Hopefully that comes out. Yeah, it should. When I Was in Prison. And this is the last one. This is the last installation of the project. When I Was in Prison. Matthew 25:40. Now, in memory of Kenneth L. Schaefer, he was director in an organization of the Protestant Men. Okay, he dedicated his life to spread the Christian word to people that were in hospitals and jail and prison and what. So that is who that is dedicated to. But this one I think is just one of my favorites. I don't know why. It's either this one or the one that was at the YMCA. Something about this one is just, I don't know. It's unique. It's just, yeah, it's really impactful. But so you have the gates. There's that, the hand, and we know we can't see who's behind there. We can't see him and all, but there's the wound. Jesus. And there his right here. Now keep in mind, all these are the original. I know the hooded, the homeless Jesus. The originals are like in Rome. So I'm saying this is really fabulous that we have these here in Youngstown, Ohio. Really makes a statement. Just a heck of a sculptor. And if you do like the sculptures and such, check out my video for Zanesville. And I won't say that, just go check that video out. It's a whole street and there's nothing but sculptures along the street. Yeah, very nice. Very, very nice. But yeah, this was our last piece. Last piece. We'll go check out the doors. But yeah, that was it. I wanted to do a video of those. I would have earlier. I would have done let me get out of that sun so it hits me right. I would have done a video on these earlier because I love these statues, but they weren't completed yet. So I waited for them to be all up, all 6 of them, so I could do the video. And all right. Yeah. See, this is what I'm talking about. Look at this church. Love it. There is the built 1883, rebuilt 1942. Look at it. Oh, this is great. Man, I love old churches like that. And this is nice. It's a walkway now. Yeah, so Youngstown's looking really good. Youngstown's looking really good. But man, that sun's bright. But oh, check this out. I just seen this too. Founded 1803. See, I love that stuff on the buildings when you find that stuff. But listen, I want to thank everybody for coming on today's adventure. Like I said, today is actually Christmas Day. This won't be posted for another couple days. So again, I wish everybody a Merry Christmas. Hope everybody had a very Merry Christmas. And if you could hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share the channel, leave a comment. I do read all the comments and I do answer them all. Yeah, that was a great little, wasn't long. It was nice to check all those out. And one more thing, I drove to each of them, okay? You don't have to if you didn't want to. If it was night, well, today it's like 50 something degrees, but you could park your car and you could walk to all of them. Like I said, these are all within a mile of each other. The furthest one I would say would probably be the hospital, but still, if it was a nice day, spend a couple hours just taking a walk and you could see all these. If not, drive to them. I hope you get a chance to check these out up close, actually get up to them and touch them, you know what I mean? But again, thanks for coming on today's adventure, and until I see you on the next one, wherever that may be, Fed Malenge.